Good morning. It is March 10th of 2022. And this morning I'm just talking about do not worry. And, and it seems like my camera's all fuzzy. Anyways, maybe that'll help. Do not worry is something I've been struggling with for the past week. Um, and I was identifying this morning. I got that right there is a Philippians 4:6 verse that I look at, and it's a big part of my surrender is to not worry and not have anxiety. Do not be anxious over anything. And so part of that is really trusting in God. Um, and it really is me having issues with control my whole life, and controlling situations, controlling the outcome, controlling um, trying to manage, manipulate, maneuver, whatever you want to call it, everything in my life in order to achieve an outcome that I thought I needed, wanted, or desired. And it was funny because I was reading this study here, and it's a sermon on not worrying, and he kind of correlates it to having two masters. And when you start to worry about certain things, most of those things, when you're anxious and worried, is because you're seeking your own agenda, you're seeking your own outcome. And when you are, in Matthew, let me see where it says, in Matthew 6, when he's talking about, I mean, obviously in 33, um, he says, speak about the cause where he is saying, who are you following? Who is your master? If I am your master, you do not need to worry. I will take care of you. And that was his paraphrase. But that really made sense to me. Because if I'm surrendered to God and He is my Lord and I am trusting in Him, and it's a big part of what this freedom walk is the it's not free to make choices and do my own thing. It's the freedom of um, living under the um, living under God and surrendered to Him, and the freedom of not having to control the outcome of everything and not having to worry about tomorrow, the freedom to live in the moment and trust that my life is in God's hands and I am being led by my Lord, who is in absolute control, even if it doesn't look like it. And so, just facing some situations, trying to get through the divorce papers and just getting some kickback from, Araceli, and just, not, it's not even kickback. It's more of just delay. And that's the worst part is it's just like, let's be done with it and let's move forward. So it's not something I'm minding. I'm like, this week is like, I've done my portion of the paperwork, and now it's like, okay, now respond and now do your portion so we can move forward. And it's like delay. And I'm not handling it as well as I would like to say I should be. And so I was just worrying about this morning. I was like, man, how can I put some pressure on this situation in order to encourage you to get the paperwork down there, to respond to the you know divorce person. And so, and I started realizing, I'm like, man, I am just anxious, and I'm just overwhelmingly frustrated right now. And just, I was like, what is going on? And then, I look off to the left, and you know, looking at God's promise. Do not be anxious about anything, but in prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, make your request made known to God. And, I'm just like, man, I'm trying to control the situation. I'm worried that it's not going to happen fast enough and I'm just like, the sacrifice, the living sacrifice of my life was crawling back off the altar. and and I was trying to control the situation, and it's been, there's a very distinct feeling and emotion, and it's not a good one. It's not something that I want to have in my life again. Um, I've been set free from those emotions, and I want to stay away from them. Uh, those are not the kind of feelings that I like to have. They don't bring any kind of peace. Like, it takes my peace away. It's really, um, it's not good. And I just sit there and I think about it, and obviously I correlate it because that was how my marriage was. That was how my relationship was always in that feeling of angst, and just feeling like um, we were on different pages, and control. I mean, obviously, I mean, I just felt like there was no ability to manage or control the situation, and you know, it was always a fight. And I look at myself in that and realize that I was definitely not at peace in the past, and I want to remain in this place. Um, and yeah, so she really tests me, and it's like she knows how to push the buttons, and so I just gotta continue to give it to God, and put that in His hands and trust Him, and do not worry, do not get anxious, do not take control, and just let Him handle it. Do what I'm supposed to do, walk the walk that I'm walking, and continue to surrender and let God make those fight on my behalf. Um, and it'll all work out. I mean, I'm worried about stuff that I have no need to worry about. Like, honestly, there's probably nothing to worry about. It's just I want to rush. I want to move faster. And God's like, slow down. And so I need to be submitted and be patient. And so do not worry is what I'm telling you, and what I'm telling myself, I should say. So God bless.